Hey everyone, this is Dr. Ramsey and welcome to CAS 100C. I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little strange today. I have a cold, I'm all stopped up, and I can't hear anything much, so hopefully I'm not screaming into the microphone. I don't think that I am. Anyway, what I wanted to talk to you about today is how to practice your speeches so that you can speak extemporaneously. In this class, you're not going to read your speech and you're not going to memorize it. You're going to deliver it extemporaneously, which means that you deliver it using an outline with keywords and phrases on it. You might think of this as sort of the way faculty lecture. They have a few key points on a PowerPoint slide maybe, and they talk through those points to you. That's really just an extemporaneous delivery. They have a few keywords and phrases that help them remember what it is they want to talk about, help you organize your notes, and they're essentially giving an extemporaneous speech at that point. So that's what you're going to learn to do in here. There are going to be very few times, if ever, in your life that anyone's going to ask you to memorize a speech or read a speech off of a manuscript. So extemporaneous delivery is really, really important if you want to be someone who is considered to have good public communication skills. So there are different ways to practice, but the way that I found really works for students is this structure right here in front of you. The first thing you want to do is write and organize your speech. Some people like to write the whole speech out. They like to pay attention to language and use alliteration and things like that that are really important. And so you might want to write your entire speech out. Some people want to just write it out in blocks, so maybe a couple of main points and subpoints under those main points, but not write it out as a narrative. Either way you decide to do that, you want to get that speech down on paper. Then what you want to do is create a practice outline, and that's actually the outline you're going to use when you get up to deliver your speech. Your practice outline should just have keywords and phrases on it in an organizational structure, so you still have the Roman numeral 1 and capital A's and number 1s and number 2s like you would in an organization, but instead of having full sentences, you just have keywords and phrases that help you remember what it is you want to talk about. So you have your full speech, and then you create a practice outline using only keywords and phrases. And then what you do is you, to the best of your ability, put yourself in the situation that you're actually going to speak in. So if you're going to stand up, stand up. If you're going to sit down, sit down. Figure out where you're going to put your notes and things like that when you actually videotape your speeches for this class. And then you're ready to start practicing. The more you practice in the exact circumstances that you'll be speaking, the more comfortable you're going to be. So try to mimic those circumstances as best you can. When you get ready to start practicing, here's what you do. You start at the beginning of the speech using your practice outline, just those keywords and phrases. You get through as much of it as you can, and it probably won't take you very long to forget something or stumble a little bit. You look over at your full outline, realize what it is you forgot, and then you start back at the beginning of the speech. You don't keep going from where you messed up. You start back at the beginning. Go through it again until you stumble another time. Figure out what it is you missed. Go back to the beginning of the speech and talk through it again. And the reason you want to do it this way is because when you start at the very beginning of your speech and use that practice outline, you're memorizing the order of your ideas. You're not memorizing the words of your speech, but you're remembering, after I talk about this, I talk about this, and then after I talk about this, I talk about this. You're remembering and memorizing the order of your ideas, and that's really important for extemporaneous speech. So, you write your speech or your long outline, you craft it into a practice outline, you stand up with that practice outline, you start at the beginning of it, get through it as far as you can till you get stumped, go back, start at the beginning, and do that until you can get all the way through it one time, and then give yourself a break. If you don't give yourself a break, you are going to actually start memorizing your speech, and that's not good. It's not difficult for someone, especially someone like me who's been teaching this since 1992. It's not difficult for folks to figure out when you've memorized something or when you're reading, so you definitely don't want to memorize your speech, and sometimes you can do that back by accident if you practice too much at one time. So get through it one time that first day, and then set it aside. Give yourself a few hours or overnight, and start again. You want to give yourself 2 or 3 days to practice your speeches, ideally. That way you can practice this way, the right way, and you don't risk memorizing the exact sentences and words that you want to use. Um, and so that's the best advice I have for you in terms of learning to speak extemporaneously. Like I said, I've been doing this since 1992, and it's worked for students. It worked for me as an undergraduate. And so if you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me and ask. I'm happy to answer. But that's how you should start practicing your speeches. All right. Y'all have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.